I want you to imagine something for a moment. Picture waking up tomorrow morning, but this time there's a difference. As you open your eyes, you realize that the weight you've been carrying, the constant worry about what others think of you, it's gone just like that. How would that feel? I've been on a journey exploring the ancient wisdom of Stoicism, and I've discovered something incredible. There's a strength that comes from not needing it. External validation, a power that emerges when you stop seeking approval from others. It's liberating, and I want to share it with you. You see, when we let go of our need for others' opinions, we unlock a mindset that allows us to live boldly, freely, and with a sense of calm that's hard to shake. It's like finding an anchor in the storm of life. And the best part, it's already within you. You just need to know how to access it. The power of silence. Let's start with something that might seem counterintuitive. First, the power of silence. In our noisy world, we often feel pressured to fill every moment with words, don't we? But I've learned that there's a quiet strength in not needing to speak. I remember a time when I was in a heated argument with a colleague. Words were flying, tensions rising. Then I remembered this Stoic principle. I took a deep breath and chose silence. The effect was immediate and powerful. My silence allowed me to listen, truly listen to what was being said. It gave me the space to observe, to understand, and to respond with intention rather than reaction. But it goes beyond just arguments. I've found that embracing silence in my daily life has transformed my relationships. It commands a certain respect. You know, when you speak less, people tend to listen more. When you do speak, it deepens connections because it shows you value, understanding others more than being heard, yourself acting without fear. Now let's talk about something we all face. Fear, it's natural, it's human. But what if I told you that you could act without fear? It sounds impossible, right? But it's not about eliminating fear. It's about accepting uncertainty as a natural part of life. I used to be paralyzed by fear of the unknown, starting a new project, making a big decision. These things would keep me up at night. But then I started challenging the stories that fed my fears. I asked myself, what's the worst that could happen? And, you know, what the worst-case scenario was, never as bad as the fear itself. So I started preparing myself, mentally and emotionally, to handle adversity. I visualized myself facing challenges head-on, and when failures came, because they always do, I embraced them as opportunities for growth. It's not about being fearless, it's about acting despite the fear, the wisdom of humility. Now, this next part might be a hard pill to swallow, but trust me, it's worth it. We need to talk about humility in a world that often celebrates ego and self-promotion. Embracing humility can feel like swimming against the current, but there's immense wisdom in it. I've learned to recognize my limitations and stay open to learning. It's liberating, really, when you accept that you don't know everything. You open yourself up to growth and new experiences. One of the most powerful things I've done is let go of the need for external validation. It's not easy, especially in the age of social media, likes and follows, but when you stop seeking approval from others, you start living for yourself. You cultivate self-awareness and emotional mastery. And here's the beautiful part: when you approach life with humility, you can serve others with a spirit of purpose. Not ego. It's no longer about what you can get, but what you can give. And that, my friends, is where true fulfillment lies, embracing impermanence. Life is constantly changing, isn't it? Nothing stays the same forever, and while that can be scary, there's incredible freedom in accepting this truth. This is what the Stoics call embracing impermanence. I remember when I lost my job a few years ago. At first, I was devastated. I had attached so much of my identity to that role, but then I remembered this principle. Everything in life is temporary, the good and the bad. This realization helped me let go of my attachment to that job. to that identity. When we let go of our attachments to people, possessions, outcomes, we find freedom in the present moment. We stop worrying so much about what might happen and start appreciating what is happening. This mindset has helped me develop resilience to handle change and loss. Because when you understand that everything is temporary, you can appreciate the good times more fully and endure the tough times with greater strength. The art of strategic restraint. Now let's talk about something that's become increasingly rare in our world: restraint. The Stoics understood the power of strategic restraint, and I found it to be a game changer in my life. It starts with observing your impulses. We all have that urge to react immediately, don't we? To fire off that angry email, to make that impulsive purchase. But what if we paused? What if we chose our responses instead of just reacting? I've made it a practice to speak only when necessary and to listen more than I speak. It's amazing how much you can learn when you're not busy formulating your next response. This approach has helped me prioritize my time and energy to focus on what truly matters. And let me tell you, maintaining your composure in the face of conflict is a superpower when everyone else is losing their cool. Your calm demeanor becomes a source of strength, not just for you, but for those around you. Building inner fortitude. All of these principles we've discussed, they lead to something incredible. Inner fortitude. It's about developing self-mastery over your thoughts and emotions. It's about rooting your confidence in your values, not in external validation. I found that cultivating resilience and perseverance in the face of adversity is key. Life will throw curveballs at you. That's a given. But it's how you respond that matters. One practice that's been transformative for me is self-compassion. We're often our own harshest critics, aren't we? But treating yourself with kindness, especially when things get tough, can be a game changer. It helps you bounce back faster and stronger. And here's a powerful truth. I've discovered true strength comes from embracing the present moment, not dwelling on the past, not anxiously anticipating the future, but fully inhabiting the now. That's where your power lies. Letting go of attachments. We touched on this earlier when we talked about impermanence, but it's so important that it deserves its own focus. Letting go of attachments is one of the most liberating things you can do. Understanding the nature of impermanence is the first step. Once you truly internalize that everything is temporary, it becomes easier to release your grip on material, possessions, relationships, and outcomes. I used to stress so much about things I couldn't control: the weather on my wedding day, the traffic on my commute, other people's actions. But I've learned to find freedom in accepting what I cannot control. It's not about being passive, it's about focusing your energy where it can make a difference. Cultivating inner peace by letting go of expectations has been a game changer for me. It doesn't mean you don't have goals, desires. It means you're not attached to specific outcomes. You do your best and then let go. The peace that comes from this approach is profound, handling criticism with courage. Finally, let's talk about something we all face, but few of us handle well: criticism. In my journey with Stoicism, I've learned that handling criticism with courage is a true test of inner strength. The first step is recognizing that you cannot control the opinions of others. People will think what they think, and that's okay. What matters is how you respond. I've learned to approach criticism with self-reflection and humility instead of getting defensive. I ask myself, is there any truth to this? Can I learn something here? This approach has led to tremendous personal growth. Maintaining your values and integrity, regardless of outside judgment, is crucial. It's about staying true to yourself, even when it's difficult. I've faced situations where doing the right thing meant facing criticism, but standing firm in my values gave me a sense of peace that no amount of external approval could match. Lastly, practicing resilience and self-compassion in the face of adversity is key. Criticism can sting. That's natural, but being kind to yourself, acknowledging your efforts, and focusing on growth rather than perfection can help you bounce back stronger. Remember, at the end of the day, the most important opinion about you is your own. When you live according to your values, when you approach life with courage and wisdom, you build an inner strength that no amount of external criticism can shake, and that, my friends, is the true power of embracing these Stoic principles. It's about unlocking your inner strength, living fearlessly, and finding a sense of peace and purpose that comes from within. So I challenge you, take these principles, apply them to your life, and see how they transform your world. Remember, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Your inner strength is waiting to be unleashed. Are you ready to embrace it?